focus. Ideate, innovate, enable. CNBC TV 18 and Star Union Dai Ichi Life Insurance present Life Insurance Matters.
Hello and welcome to this special show. CNBC TV 18 and Star Union Dai Ichi Life presents Life Insurance Matters. I'm your host Yash Jain, and it has been a refreshing change from only talking about the business of insurance to also talk about things like insurance penetration, coverage and density. After all, it's the business of securing human lives. The regulator IRDAI has announced multiple reforms, all leading to just one goal, which is insurance for all by 2047. No doubt it's an ambitious goal, but the journey to it promises to be an interesting one. To speak about this journey towards insurance for all, we're joined by Abhay Tewari, the Managing Director and CEO at Star Union Dai Ichi Life Insurance Company. Thank you, Abhay, for speaking to CNBC TV 18 today. To start with, what I want to understand is about this goal itself, that is insurance for all. Do you think it's like aim for the moon and reach the stars kind of situation? Or do you think if the industry indeed comes together, we can actually achieve this goal by 2047?
If you see one particular scheme itself, launched as PMJJBY scheme to cover people all across the country, it has been so successful. I mean, I think we are third largest insurer, providing coverage there, and we have like more than 1.25 crore customers in that one particular scheme itself. So, reaching the goal of coverage and penetration, I would say penetration might be very, very much possible. We'll be able to definitely reach out to everybody and have some cover for every person. But as you rightly mentioned, I think the problem is not only about the penetration, it is also about the quantum of coverage or the density, of the spend on insurance. I think currently it is too low. People are covered just, for a very small sum assured, which perhaps needs to change. And I think the effort or the collective effort of all insurers coming together in that area will be really meaningful. If we can, give a real financial support in times of difficulties to the families, that is what insurance should stand for. And that's perhaps the aim of the regulator as well. So when I think the discussion around 2047 coverage for all is insurance for all is not only about reaching out to every person, but also giving adequate cover to every person. And I think that is the real challenge thrown to all the insurance companies. And I think we are all working towards that.
Abhay, you sort of cued me to my next question also. And that is with respect to how we assess the insurance industry itself. Do you think that we should be focusing more on density and coverage rather than penetration to assess the right sort of depth that we are getting into?
See, I think, penetration is first, foremost, more important in the beginning, because, you have to reach out to that person to, make him aware about it and to get a buy-in of that person to come into and to take and start with an insurance. But once he has, committed himself to, some small cover also, then explaining the need becomes much easier to say that, this is not adequate. But to start with, I think, this kind of the social sector schemes or any other scheme which is coming looks like a mass market in the beginning, but to reach out and to explain that this is important, this serves a huge purpose. And so once the penetration is done, then the density and the coverage becomes easier for the insurers to kind of scale up.
And towards the penetration itself, I want to understand your view. What are some of the low-hanging fruits that you see for the life insurance industry to sort of achieve as far as stronger penetration is concerned? And again, adjoining to that question, at Star Union Dai Ichi Life Insurance, how are you looking at these low-hanging fruits to essentially achieve penetration at the company level first?
For us, PMJJY scheme has been a very good vehicle to reach out to, people across the country. Our bank branches are spread all over the country and, backed by Union Bank and Bank of India. And we are trying to bring a lot of RRBs also with us, the regional rural banks. So together, I think, the penetration will not be a problem. But I think explaining that the scale of cover is much higher and the requirement is much higher, I think that is where the company will have to put a lot of efforts. And I think we are trying to do that through creating innovation on the product side, on adopting technology much faster. I feel that the customer onboarding journey, there's a lot of work done already by a lot of insurance companies. But on the engagement front, because it is a product which you don't need to regularly engage, so you need to kind of collect the renewal premium maybe after a year. So we are trying to create certain engagement avenues or platforms. We have created a You Matter app, which kind of gives support to anybody who seeks help on mental health side, or even now we are expanding it to physical health. We are trying to make it also financial planning kind of a app where you can actually understand your needs and plan for your savings, how the savings should be channelized to retirement or to other needs. So we need to create certain avenues where people can come on the platform and try and understand what it is all about. Even say for health insurance or motor insurance on the general insurance side, there are more engagement avenues, but on the life side, it's like the claim is a once, it's very rare that you get, say 2 or 3% people may only die, and over the years actually. So 97% people may survive the entire policy term. So that way the engagement platforms have to be created, and this I think to explain the need and the importance was for those 2 or 3% families. It was really very critical to buy that insurance plan. Earlier, the agent would know everything about the family and the person, so a lot of customizable products and offerings could have been designed around the person. But now, as we become more and more sophisticated about technology and data, we are also somewhere not able to bring and marry this together, where the so I think that is where we have to work upon as an entity, as a company. But the reach is there, but the scale and using that reach to enhance the cover, I think that is where we have to work upon.
I want to get your views on another important issue, which is the gap that we see in the form of missing middle. Now, what I want to be specific about here is that the two new initiatives, that is Bima Vistar and Bima Vahak, how, according to you, these two newest initiatives from the regulator will help in addressing the missing middle problem which the life insurance industry has at the moment?
Yeah, see, we are, as there are certain social sector schemes like PMJJY and other schemes which are helping the lower, the bottom, as you said, and the upper, HNIs or upper middle class. They are able to kind of understand and get the insurance cover for themselves. The people in between, initially, as I said, that the agency and the reach through the agent was a big vehicle. Gradually, we are seeing that, this particular channel also, because the opportunities for people to get jobs and, different kind of occupation is coming up, and people are not wanting to take up something where they may devote their whole career to, say, insurance selling. So that is where I think the challenge is to attract this talent and to retain this talent, to reach out to this segment of people. So I think, we have to get people on board, and Bima Vahak and Bima Vistar can actually cater to that particular gap, which is currently there. We need to get people who can relate to that segment of people, and then kind of explain as to if they're part of that same community. For example, from the same Gram Panchayat, if we have one person representing the village and kind of going and meeting the people, it's much easier to connect with the people there. And I think that is where the Bima Vahak can become a very big success. Even on a Bima Vistar, I would say that bringing composite kind of a product for a family is where they are having accident insurance, crop insurance in the villages, or the vehicle insurance if they have small vehicles to move around, or the tractors. So these kind of things coming together and creating one health insurance and life insurance definitely combined. So when you create a combo, it's very easy to understand that it's one policy I have to buy and one thing which I have to buy, and it will help me get all my covers in place. These kind of things will really become, I think, very important for to scale up. And I think these initiatives will definitely be a game changer.
Abhay, very quickly, if I could get your views on another initiative which the regulator has taken, and which is with respect to making life insurance companies lead insurers for different states. Every life insurance company has a dedicated state. I want to understand your experience so far. One is that, do you think this will actually successfully take insurance to tier 2 and tier 3 segments of the country? Second, what is the biggest challenge as a company that you are facing as far as driving this lead insurance concept is concerned?
I think it's a very good initiative, and we are using it really successfully, I would say, because we have got Jharkhand and Goa. So in Jharkhand we have done a lot of work using this vehicle. Actually, I would say there are a lot of engagement at the very junior level. I would say the very beginning level. We have gone and engaged with the public authorities there. We have started doing some small nukkad nataks, or engagement at village level, at very micro level, I would say, and that has really helped us. I think it's not a top down thing, it's a very bottom up thing actually. And if we can engage with people there, people are willing to come on board, and they are understanding the importance of this. So it's I think it brings focus, because we also now know that okay, we have to start somewhere. And I think that way this particular concept of having a state to first develop that particular state and reach out to everybody in that particular state, it's a very good thinking actually. And it really has helped us. As I said, we got like in 1 month suddenly 5 lakh customers coming on board. So this is not a simple initiative. It is like, it requires a lot of work, but can actually move us to that goal of covering everybody towards by 2047. So this is a very important initiative, and I think all the insurance companies are putting a lot of efforts in that area.
At Star Union Daiichi Life Insurance, how are you using technology on a few important aspects of the industry? One is reaching out to customers. Second, sale of insurance policies. And the third and the most important one is effective claim settlement.
The whole onboarding exercise has actually shifted to digital. There is no paperwork actually involved at the time of onboarding the customer, and I think that's very important. And that has been really helped by the account aggregator system coming into place, because we can get information in one place at the same time. The only missing piece might be the health stack actually right now, because we still have to ask questions around health. We have to do the health checkups and all. So somewhere, if that health stack and the data around that comes into one place, and where we are able to access it with the permission of the customer, I think that can really make the whole journey even more smooth. As of now, for 90-95% of the customers, it is really very, very easy to onboard. So there is no difficulty on that side. On the customer relationship management also, people have been doing a lot of work. There's a lot of welcome call. We are trying to do a video underwriting at that stage. If we have to talk to the customer also, the video underwriting is becoming the norm across the industry. It is very helpful, because it kind of gives you a connect with the customer. The customer also feels that he has been assessed properly. So this becomes like the attrition and all in the policy retention becomes much better. We find that the retention rate is far higher if this kind of engagement has been done at the time of onboarding itself. So initially there was a welcome call going, but through video and all, it is even the whole process has become even more efficient actually. After he has come on board, as I said, the engagement avenues are not that many, because the renewal premium will be paid after a long time. On unit link platform, there are a lot of switches and all, so companies try to make it very easy to switch between the funds, and making it free and easy on the either through the app or through the web presence. But we are also trying to engage a lot through our bank apps actually, because the bank apps are used by our customers far more than our apps. So that is one thing which we are trying to do for our on our digital initiatives, I would say. Customer relationship management softwares have become very advanced. I think we have a Salesforce tools which is really very helpful. It can kind of if you have engaged on one particular platform, we have done one call, and later on after 2 days, 3 days, you are coming to the website and trying to check that whether that issue has been resolved or not. There is a seamless connect between all the platforms. So that we are trying to do through the CRM tools. On the claim settlement side, actually, we are trying to use those AI bots, whether they can help us in processing much faster than the manual intervention alone can do. So we are trying to see that whether these tools can really make the processing also become real quick. There are certain times where we are settling it in just 5-10 minutes, but there are certain instances where we have to go back and check whether the claim is genuine or not. So those areas can be minimized and we reduce it to like 1% of the policies only. So 98, 99%, if we are able to settle very quickly, I think that will be a big success of the deployment. But we are still working on the claims side, on the developing the technology on that particular side. But as I said, the claims are very few. So especially the death claims and all. So there, even the manual intervention and working closely and watching, the whole claim and ensuring that the family is really kind of taken care of. There is a bit of an emotional connect required at the time of claims, and I think that's where human intervention is really useful actually, because you need to speak to somebody and people are expecting that. So that comfort of having a person to access, and so that we are trying to create a mix of both, the tech and the human intervention, so that the journey looks not only fast and efficient, but also the human element is there, is that emotional element is there in the whole process. See, technology is reducing the cost. It is making the whole process more efficient. It is making the data and everything much more secure. So I think it is going to be a very interesting phase in the next few years, whereby the technology adoption improves much more significantly. With AI tools coming in, I feel a lot of interesting things we'll see in the next, say, 4 or 5 years.
We all hope that the catch-up that you spoke about happens sooner than we expect. But I want your attention and views on one very important topic, and that is on the point of mis-selling. What as an industry should be done to reduce instances of mis-selling, hence reduce the trust deficit between the policyholder and insurance companies? And coming to Star Union Dai-ichi Life Insurance, what are you doing in terms of your initiatives to ensure that there are least instances of mis-selling that you guys come across?
There are a lot of initiatives which companies are doing. I mean, there are a lot of welcome calls, there are a lot of video calls before the final issuance of the policy. There are a lot of checks which companies are doing to issue a policy, because they are not, people are realizing that sometimes, people can go and say that this is a very important need and person may buy, and then later on he may realize that he has to pay the premium for a very long term, and it's not easy to kind of come out of the plan in the next, say, 2 years or 1 year. If I just want to exit, it has its own repercussions. So and for insurance companies, we are mobilizing this money for 30 years. So we generally tend to lock it also for 30 years. So what happens is, when somebody is trying to exit early, we have to kind of sell the instrument which we are holding on the asset side. So that's where people try to explain that, this is at least a 5-year product, not less than 5 years. But sometimes there are instances where people realize that it will be difficult to make the regular premium, continue with the regular premium, and they want to kind of do that surrender. So it is put as a complaint of mis-selling, but maybe it is essentially, as I said, a mismatch between what his needs were at that point of time when he purchased it, and then he realizes it post-purchase that this is not really ideal for me right now. The GDP is growing and we are into that hockey stick kind of growth. So we expect that, the retentions and all also will grow significantly. If you see, most of the companies now are touching more than 80% even on the 13th month. So we are close to 80%. We are like 78, 79% on the 13th month, but we'll cross 80% this year. So I have a feeling that if you are able to scale that up to 85, 90%, I think it will be a good job. Worldwide also, sometimes in very developed countries, you see upwards of 90% as retention. But gradually, as I said, the income levels are also an important reason why, and the continuity of income or the regularity of income is also a reason why people drop out actually in between. It's not always about mis-selling, but yes.
As we conclude this conversation, I just want your views on two important things. One is sustainability, and the second one is responsible insurance practices. At Star Union Dai-ichi Life Insurance, how do you look at both these concepts?
See, I think sustainability is just not like a good to do phenomena. It is becoming like a necessity. It is like becoming like a must and especially for insurers, because we have everything, all our stake in the long term. So in the next 25, 30 years or 40 years are more important to us. So if people survive and they are all paying all their premiums and there are no claims or lesser claims, it really helps the insurance companies do really well in the long term. And that is our aim, is also to enhance the longevity of the Indian population. Actually, we are looking at, when we said this health app was not only done for engagement. It was also done to really, make a meaningful impact on the health and longevity of the people. I have a feeling that this sustainability issues which are coming up, those climate change things, we have to really seriously engage and see that we are not doing a big mistake in those areas. Actually, the drought-prone villages in Maharashtra have been our area of focus. We have been trying to work with a lot of villages in Maharashtra to see that the water level comes up. There's a lot of drip irrigation. We try to engage with Krishi Vigyan Kendra to give them all the support to enhance their agriculture. So initial, the focus was to get the water just retained in the land, and so that area has really helped us understand the whole village ecosystem. So now we engage with trying to see women empowerment also. Through we have different projects called Project Shakti, Project Dharti. So Jeevan Dhara is another initiative which we have taken, whereby we are trying to create school infrastructure in those same villages. We have tried to do solar lighting in the villages, trying to plant a lot of trees in the villages. So but we are trying to engage directly, and our team goes and engages with the villages. We try to bring kind of a PPP model whereby government also contributes, we contribute, and the villagers also contribute. So we're trying to create an interesting avenue of reaching out and helping on that front. But as an insurer, I think we have a lot more at stake on this front. So, and on responsible insurance selling, I think we have been pushing a lot on this side. We have been, our banks and Dai Ichi, they're all more than 100 years old, and they want the company to be really very conscious about this particular aspect. So we take it up very seriously. Any customer small grievance or anything coming up is taken up really at the senior most level, actually, and we just don't allow anything to go by.
Thank you, Abhay, for your valuable insights on the insurance sector. We all hope that all the targets, the ambitions, and the plans that you've spoken about are achieved well before what the industry expects. Until next time, thank you so much for joining us. Keep watching CNBC TV 18.
CNBC TV 18 and Star Union Dai Ichi Life Insurance present Life Insurance Matters. Focus, ideate, innovate, enable.